Parents who are going through CPS, DCFS are held to standards that are unnatural. We are expected to be polite and communicate consciously and compassionately. And many times, if you have a social worker who doesn't like you because you are unable to communicate this way, and if you communicate in ways that are more disconnecting because, I don't know, maybe you're traumatized because your kids are in separate foster homes and you're not able to see them, so you have all these unmet needs. You have unmet needs for love, connection, that primal drive that makes mothers go find their babies, go be with their babies. You have to ignore all of that drive and natural instinct to do whatever it takes to be with your kids and just suppress all of that. And we're expected to just understand that social workers are doing their job, and we have to be nice and make their job easy. And I get that. I appreciate all that. The only thing is, when you're traumatized and you have a hijacked amygdala and you are in your fight or flight in that reptilian brain, it's pretty fucking hard. It's pretty hard. And I see a lot of parents not getting their children back. Me, for example, my children were removed because my 10-year-old was babysitting the other two. There's no legal age for babysitting, but they were taken from me. Something good came out of it. I did get sober 12 days later. I've been sober over 2.5 years, and because of my personality, I have not been able to get them back because I am someone who used to be abrasive and used to communicate in ways that are very alienating when I am dealing with a social worker who, you know, I'm making an enemy image of because I'm portraying this or perceiving this person as, you know, someone who's keeping me from my kid. And clearly I've done a lot of work just from how I'm talking. You can tell, I'm sure. And I know that, you know, making an enemy image and making my social worker wrong and talking to her that way has no effect. It only hurts me. So I have learned conscious communication, compassionate communication. I've learned self-love. I've learned reparenting, transformative resilience. I've done a lot of work. But it takes 3 to 5 years for our brains to really make those changes and for those patterns that are replacing the self-limiting, self-sabotaging ones, those new life-enriching patterns. It takes a while for them to stick. They say 3 to 5 years it takes your brain to change. So a lot of these parents, even when they're getting help, they're further traumatized. A lot of resources are gone into investigating instead of helping. Tremendous amount of resources is in evaluating, judging, telling the parent everything that's wrong with them. If we put all of that energy into helping the parent, into assisting, into keeping families together no matter what, most of the time children are removed from parents who are not a physical violent threat to them. Usually it's some kind of domestic dispute or drug addiction or alcoholism, or in my case, just making a stupid decision to leave your kids in an RV with a 10-year-old watching 2 sleeping kids. I'm not minimizing what I did. Clearly I regret the shit out of it because for 2.5 years I've been paying for it. But all I'm saying is, let's not make people pay for it. Let's not waste time and energy punishing people and making people wrong. We got to keep families together. We got to bring less suffering, less trauma into the world, and more healing, more keeping families together. And unless you turn into a communication ninja like me and do all the work, not like me, but, you know, I'm still working on myself. But it's because I'm in the communication dojo. Every time I talk to my social worker, like, I'm completely triggered and traumatized and feeling all these feelings, and my children are being dangled in front of me as like a prize, a reward, and I'm being punished, and I'm in this domination system, and it's like I've really had to learn how to communicate and self-soothe and self-regulate, and like, I've done the work, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, for parents who are still trying to do the work, let's not have the bar so high. Let's not make it so parents have to be perfect communicators. And if they are not polite, and if they make it difficult on the social worker because they're traumatized and projecting their pain on the social worker, like, we're just held to these standards that are ridiculous. And then children are growing up in foster homes, and just, oh my God, the kids are the worst victims. Talk about traumatizing parents. Like, it traumatizes the shit out of children. They've done studies where the PTSD for kids is way worse than men who went and fought and done tours in Iraq. Most of these kids end up in jail. They are way more likely to be in jail than they are in college. And they end up homeless and drug addicts and prostitutes. And we have just this unnecessary torture system of CPS that is so superfluous and wastes so much energy investigating and criminalizing and shake it out. Like, let's have new, more life-enriching ways of helping people. This is not helping. Why are we making money off of families? Let's help them. Family preservation. Keep families together. Heal families. I am always going to be my children's mother. Being separated from them does not help me heal. Keep us together. And, in my case, I don't even want to talk about my case too much, because I want to just generally speak about the issues in CPS. We need more compassion in our systems, less othering of people, less vilifying people, and more helping, more healing, more loving, more understanding, so that people are not afraid of their social workers because they are being investigated. Let's have parents feel vulnerable and have their hearts open and energetically be able to be like, okay, I'm vulnerable. I'm so happy you're here. I really want to be the best mom I can be. Because most of the time parents want to be with their kids. They want to be the best parent they can be. We need to keep families together. It is the biggest misunderstanding, and it's so painful, and it doesn't have to be this way. Keep families together.